using their people to show them a good time once in a while, which nobody could argue with them for, because my God, by the time we got there, the English had seen plenty of service. And so had our own troops, as a matter of fact. But I really found a very good dancer. Pretty girl, very good dancer. And so I behaved anyway, so it wasn't any problem. And she really loved to dance, and we got together, and my God, they had breakfast dances, they had morning dances, they had afternoon dances, and they had evening dances. This is all in celebration of Christmas.
Wow.
And they could dance, and it was a lot of fun. But I think most of our troops really behaved themselves. The only time I know of troops getting out of line, and when I left the unit, or when I left these guys, I never even knew which unit they were in. They were pretty decent. We got down toward, I had maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles from that village to where our trucks were. My God, you just stick out your thumb and the first truck by, stop. You'd be on your way. So I did a lot of getting around to seeing the ruins, but I was always in by check-in time. I thought I didn't need any more problems from the people that were doing that. I went and found out how much more a sergeant was being paid than a corporal. Wasn't that much. I could give that up. There wasn't that much left to go to war anyway. I made friends with the English when they were dancing. That's all. I never made a pass at one of them.
But didn't some guy approach you and say, "Hey, what are you doing with my girlfriend? The one that liked to dance so much?"
No.
No, that never happened.
In fact, later when I was back in Juneau,
Uh-huh.
in fact when we had to go south, when the war was on, when World War II was on, and we had to go south, we came out in three-way. My sister and my mother and my grandmother, they left first, and then I was in the second group, I think, that went. And when I went, I stayed where Petersburg was the first town that Juneau went by or stopped at, and they had something they had to take. They were little tramp steamers, what they were. I mean, a little tramp steamer, but we were picked up by them going. And then when we went overseas, 14 days in convoy, and I told one of my friends, you know, the best thing about this thing is if we can live through it, live through it, that it's not going to take us 2.5 weeks to get home. Ha! Took us over 25 days to get home.
Oh my. So you went home to Juneau, and
the war was over then. But when we got to Petersburg was just a beautiful little town. Nordics, hell of a good basketball player. Teams, jeez. I found out why Juneau had such a hard time beating them. Once in a while they get a break, but not very often. So when I went in there was a J on my sweater, And they came over and they said, "You a basketball player?" This is Petersburg.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Yes." You know Jim Johnson?" I said, "I am Jim Johnson." He said, "You are?" He said, "Yes." Come on, go to the dance with us. So I went to the dance, and they had a little conversation over it with a beautiful girl. And so they just made her my date for the evening, as long as I'm going to be there. Well, we had to leave at midnight, and I got there about 7:30. So I had a good time there. But I got kind of worried. I thought, my gosh, how's this guy taking this?
Yeah.
So I asked. I said, "Do you know who the boyfriend has? Is this that I'm dancing with? His girlfriend?" And she said, "Oh yes. Let me introduce you." So she introduced me. He was just cordial, as nice and polite, you know. And I danced with her all evening. And you got around him.
Well, it's getting close.
Yeah. I said, "Well, gee, I surely am surprised that you would let such a beautiful girl be my date for the evening." He said, "That's all right. We're going to put you back on the bus. We're going to put you back on the boat," is what he said, the ship. And they did. And I appreciated it.
Well, they're very trustworthy.
But my dad, when I went down, my dad he needed a second-hand pass. And these guys, but the cannery season was over, and this whole deck, inside deck, was all kicked down to where it was the workers who had gone north to work in the plant to fix the fish, you know, clean them and gut them and treat them, and sometimes boarded them. But they were really a nice group. I was so surprised when they had said, "Do you know Jim Johnson?" I didn't know I made that big an impression on anybody. But with them, you can make a good impression and still get your ass beaten. They had such a system designed. They had a heck of a good coach. Each one of those 5 men had at least 2, sometimes 3 positions that when they took the ball there and shot it, it went in. Mm-hmm. So they had drilled